today is stepping out, of course, without their captain Wally Lewis. Daryl Duncan makes a welcome return to Lang Park after his stint in the south. Mick moves back to the forwards after a session in the backs, and Brian Niebling will be called upon to take a strong hand in this match this afternoon, and he, of course, is the captain of the Fortitude Valley lineup today. So that's Valleys. Let's have a look at Wynnum-Manly right now. Wynnum side, the same combination they've used in the last 3 weeks, and it's solid all the way through. Fullback Colin Scott in good form. We saw that in the State of Origin the other night. Flying winger Terry Butler, the talk of the town. Brent French playing well in the centres, and then you go right through to players such as Gene Miles, who's doing some very smart things in the forwards. All round, you have a very solid Wynnum-Manly side. Mick, I favour them to win. Which way do you see it?
I'm going for Wynnum-Manly as well, Bill. I think they'll just have too many guns this afternoon for Valleys.
OK, we'll find out right now as play gets set to move out, and a few changes in that Fortitude Valley lineup. One I didn't mention, Bobby Arnold was originally named in the side, but he's been replaced by Robert Moore. Robert Moore into the second row for Fortitude Valley. So a few changes in this side, a few players that we haven't seen a great deal of so far this season, but I'm sure before the day's out we'll certainly will. Ready for the kick-off now. There they go. It's a big, long kick by Colin Scott, carrying deep down into Valley territory. Matter of fact, just about into their in-goal area. Coming away with it is Darren Morris, the fullback, and he'll bring it up to about 20 metres out from the Valley line.
Pretty big fullback is Darren Morris. Really big lump of a lad.
Here's a guy that came down from the Sunshine Coast, I think, this year to join Valleys. And he's played his share of A-grade games. That's Brian Niebling. A lot resting on his shoulders today, Mick.
Yes, he's going to have to read, play, dictate, and take the place of the master, who's played very well this afternoon in New Zealand.
And, of course, we'll have highlights of that test match coming up when at the conclusion of this game here this afternoon. Valleys attempting to take it up now. Looking around, that was Perry Mason. Away they go. Good stuff. Johnson flying through. This will be a try, the first try of the match. Ben Johnson is over for Valleys. The Diehards have a lead of 4 points to 0.
Oh, and well done from Perry Mason. He put him through the gap. Johnson ran onto it, and as you will see here, and they just nowhere about. And Valleys away to that start that Wynnum didn't really want. Makes no bones about it, Bill. Head down and go.
And he just went straight through that gap too. It just opened up in front of him. He took full advantage of it. And there is the try scorer, Ben Johnson from Fortitude Valley. He's around the corner style kicker. We'll see how successful he's going to be as he moves in right now. It's on its way. He's hooked it around just a little bit too much, away to the left-hand side of the uprights. So it's Valleys 4, Wynnum-Manly 0. Dawes gets it. Off their feet, Wynnum, but they didn't get it the easiest of ways. Now, Gene Miles says, I want to have a go here, and he does it well. The big second round, a couple of metres out from the line. More like the Wynnum-Manly, we know. David Green comes up to dummy half. Green swings it to who? Eventually to French. Over the top to Butler. Can he squeak into the corner? Yes, made a try. Had a good look at it. Look to his touch, Judge. I'd like to see it, though.
I'd like to see it, too. Oh, boy. Let's see what happens. It must be very close. Watch Butler. Number 2, here he comes. Now he must dive from there, and he does. We possibly got it down. We got unsighted. I think the ball was down before he hit the corner.
Warren Green. Just going to be away. Cut back. Oh, gee. Just fell short, didn't quite have enough behind it. So it's 4 all.
Fundamental error or a stupid penalty.
So now Valleys moving up to take the tap. They're 30 metres out from the Wynnum-Manly line. That's the winger, Scott Nichols. Dummy half will be Terry Karonkin. See second row there, Robert Moore. Karonkin again to dummy half. Look for the Diehards to put on a bit of pressure here. Henrik to Wilson. Back the other way. That's his front rower there, Laurie Kavanagh. Not terribly enterprising there from the Diehards.
Bit of a bad pass there. It slowed everything down, and Kavanagh just settled it down, which he had to do.
Brian Niebling. Henrik. Looking for Hickey. They're still keeping it going now. Perry Mason. Back inside to Hickey. They're storming that line again, Valleys. The final tackle's on its way. Away from dummy half to Henrik. Little chip kick. They're following out after it. Yes, it's a try. Nichols is in. Nichols the first one there. Right underneath the nose of Gene Miles. Through this time though. And Valleys have a lead of 10-4 over Wynnum. So now the drop out from underneath the goal mouth by Gene Miles. Going in to take it is Robert Moore.
He's caused them plenty of trouble too, running onto it viciously.
Away from dummy half, Hickey. 2.5 minutes remaining to half time. Dummy half is Moore. Henrik, then Niebling. Niebling trying to... Oh, he got it around the corner eventually to Wilson. Thought about it a few times, but eventually let it go. Flicking it back inside to Henrik this time is Kavanagh. Carrock a dummy half. Then over there to Wilson. Wilson trying to find the gap. He thought it was there, but it closed up on him. As Ian French came over to take care of him. Daryl Duncan from dummy half. Henrik, there's another bomb. Diving up and taking it is Niebling, and it's a try. Brian Niebling through the air to take it and score the try.
Oh, good stuff. And I tell you what, Henrik sized up the situation. Colin Scott was nowhere in sight. He was well over in midfield. He just marked the fellow who played the ball. So there was a big gap in behind there. And look at Niebling, he comes straight through the centre of the pack, down for a clean, well-deserved try.
Here's a head-on coming your way right now. Here it is. Henrik. Now you'll see, watch Niebling. Up, took it beautifully, and is in. Perry Mason attempting to convert the try. He's right in front, he shouldn't have any trouble. He's on his way. And another 2 points on the board. Valleys have a lead of 16 points to 6, and that's a pretty handy lead coming into the half-time break. Warren Green decided to get into the action. Samuelson. Gene Miles through the gap as a big fellow. He's up over the halfway. He's got French inside of him. Away to French. He's being chased up by Johnson, but he'll score. Yes. Brett French over for the try. The Wynnum-Manly definitely needed. It's 16 to 10.
Oh, beautifully done. And it was Gene Miles that positioned himself beautifully to run onto a pass, as you will see here. Lovely, beautiful work there by Samuelson and Miles. I never know whether he's a second rower or a centre, Bill, but he's a centre three-quarter there. Position French beautifully. I tell you what, he was nearly taken there by Ben Johnson, very close to being tackled, but unfortunately for Valleys not an over.
Here it is, the head-on coming away right now. Samuelson, there you can see how Miles has gone through that gap, got away from the covering tackle of Hickey, had a look inside, then sent the pass away to the little centre French. As Mick said, dived that by Johnson, but in for the try. Now it's Warren Green with a chance to attempt to convert that try to bring Wynnum-Manly right back into the match. Green, who today has kicked one from 3, has now kicked one from 4, waved away. Valleys are leading Wynnum-Manly 16 points to 10. Match penalty coming up and a bit of a biff coming on now. Few punches flying, there's a couple of them back there. Green and somebody else, it'll be Carrocken. And both locked in a bit of a tussle.
Mr. Bickle can thank himself for that blow-up. He's had a good game and he insists on fiddling around repacking scrums. And you can tell by the stature of the fellow, he hasn't packed in any scrums, or he would appreciate that it's not the best place to be, leaning on top of each other. Has a tendency to upset me a little, that type of thing, Bill.
Valleys today, tries by Ben Johnson, Scott Nichols and Brian Niebling. In the kicking department, we've seen Mason, 2 from 3. Here's a try coming up. That's Wilson racing away, and Wilson is in. And Valleys go further ahead. It's 22 points to 10. Here's a kick at goal. Oh, it's over, but only just made it. They'll have to repaint that crossbar during the week. But it's another 2-pointer. So Valleys 24, Wynnum-Manly 10.
For rugby league fans, on Tuesday evening we'll have Cronulla versus